Okay, so this next category is solving quadratics with square roots, level 1. Okay, so we're going to solve the following quadratic equation for all values of x in simplest form. I'm going to annotate. So this might look a little bit messy because I'm annotating on my computer. So please bear with me that my writing is going to be a bit messy. So let me just copy it first. Okay, so our first step is to get rid of this 26. So I'm going to get rid of it by subtracting 26 on both sides. That gives me x minus 9 squared. Those cancel out just like I wanted it to, equals 5. 31 minus 26 is 5. Okay, then our next step is to do a square root on both sides. Oops. So let me write that out, square root and square root. So we're square rooting to cancel out the squared on the x minus 9. So we will be left with x minus 9. So we did a square root so we can cancel with the squared. And when you square root 5, you're going to get two answers. You're going to get plus or minus square root of 5. Leave it inside the radical because that gives us our exact answer. We don't want decimals here. We just want the exact answer. So it is going to look a little bit weird, but you'll see what it means in just a second. So like I said, you want the positive square root of 5 and you want the negative square root of 5. So I'm actually going to rewrite this into two statements. X minus 9 is equal to positive square root of 5. And also x minus 9 is equal to negative square root of 5. Okay, any questions up till here? Okay, so our final step will be to add 9 to both sides in each of our equations so that we can solve for x. So in this first equation, we add 9 on both sides. We get x is equal to 9 plus square root of 5. Take a look at our second equation. We still need to add 9 on both sides so that we get rid of this part. And then we would get x is equal to 9 minus square root of 5. So we have two answers. We got 9 plus square root of 5 and 9 minus square root of 5. Okay, so let me see. Do you see this button? Like, you can see my mouse, I think, I hope. This button right over here, this plus sign that's next to your keyboard, this plus sign will allow you to type two answers in. So I press that button and you can see that now I have two boxes. So in my first box, I will say 9 plus square root of 5. My second box, I will have 9 minus square root of 5. So these are my two answers. And remember, you get your second answer box by pressing this plus sign button right over here. Okay, so now that we've done this one, are there any questions? Submit. And then let's go to the next problem and let's do another one. Okay, so we're going to solve the following quadratic equation for all values of x in simplest form. Let me clear all of these drawings because they're not relevant anymore. Okay, let me copy it down. Okay, so our first step is to get rid of the plus 20. So you do that by doing the opposite. Since it's plus 20, we are going to minus 20 on both sides. That gives us 4x minus 10 squared. Sorry, that's supposed to be an x minus 10 squared. Those cancel out just like we wanted, and we get 4 over here. Now, before we do a square root, we must get rid of this 4. So this 4 is being multiplied for that, so we're going to do the opposite. We're going to divide by 4. So you divide to get rid of the fact that it's being multiplied. And so that leaves you with our parentheses, x minus 10 squared equals 1. Okay, I'm going to pause here and see if there are any questions. So the next step from here, now that we have our parentheses by itself, is to square root both sides. So we get the square root and the squared cancel each other out. We just have x minus 10. And then what is the square root of 1? Remember, there's a positive answer and there is a negative answer. Square root of 1 is just 1. So this time we don't have to leave it inside a radical because we actually have, like, it is a perfect square. So we can just say the square root of 1 is 1. And don't forget, we want the positive 1 and we want the negative 1. So I'm going to rewrite it out. X minus 10 equals positive 1. And we also want x minus 10 equals the negative 1. Remember, you want two answers. So in each of our equations, you need to add 10 on both sides so that you can get x by itself. This gives you x equals 11. And then on our other equation, you still add 10 on both sides. That gives you x is equal to 9. So you have two answers, 11 and 9. And so I'm going to use this plus sign button again so that I get two boxes for my answers. And I will have 11 and 9. It's okay if you put 9 first and then 11 second. It doesn't matter what order you put it in, okay? Does not matter what order you put it in, but I'm just putting my 11 first and my 9 second just because. Any questions for this one? Okay, and let's go to another problem. Well, I'm not going to do this entire problem with, actually, I'll do this one with you because I think, wait, sorry. No, I don't need to do this one with you guys. I think if you guys need more examples, you can click show example, which is right over here. And if you still don't like those examples, you can click watch help video, which is over here. Okay, so I think you guys can get the rest of it. Let's move on to the next category.